is a man, but a miserable pile of secrets.
God is with me, monster.
That will be your ruin.
Good evening, folks. Just to let yous all know, heavy spoilers are inbound for this review.
Right, now that we've got that out the road, we'll continue with our our review of Castlevania 2, Lords of Shadow. Got that round the wrong way, but you get the point. That's fine. It's a bit of an improvement over the first game. I actually quite like this game. There are bits in it that I'm like, what stealth sections? No. It's a very, very odd sort of mix of like fantasy and sci-fi, which I was not expecting from a Castlevania game. Basically, at the end of the first game, Gabriel Belmont becomes Dracula, and then gets a big fucking castle, and comes to the second game and these humans attack him and you batter fuck out them. Not before the wreck his fucking digs, you know what I mean? I'll be raging, and then he goes to sleep for some reason. This Zobek cunt shows up and is like, oh, you need to fucking sleep, mate. It doesn't happen like that, but I'm just making things up as I go along story-wise for this wee bit. Because I was not paying attention. And then he wakes up hundreds of years in the future, and it's like sort of modern day London, but like I said, there's sci-fi bits.
Help me, and I can free you of your immortality.
The game's gameplay has improved quite significantly. It's no longer this strange camera angle fucking juggling fest. You never know what you're going to get. 90% of the time you will be behind the camera, looking over Mr. Dracula Belmont's shoulder, and I much prefer that. There are sections in the game where you will be a rat. Now I have to be very perfectly, utmostly honestly, that I did not expect to be playing any Castlevania game as a rat, or a bat, or in fact even a cat. You don't go a cat in the game. You can summon rats to, no rats. Well, bats are like flying rats, so you can summon bats to distract other twats, and then you can possess these twats to bash other things and open doors and things. And it's not actually all that interesting, it's actually really boring, completely slows the pace of the game down, and I really wish they hadn't bothered. And I think I would have enjoyed the game a whole lot more had they not bothered. And you'll get different enemies that'll, you know, you'll need to get the fire gloves to fucking knock away their armour. You don't have to do that, but you'll have to get behind them if you want to damage them. You've got a sword that gets you your life back. You've got the whip of, well, it's like the whip of chaos in it. It's like fucking, it is basically the God of War. Again, like the first one, only it's improved. Just feels like they've worked on the controls, they've worked on how the game flows a lot more. It just doesn't feel like it's such an absolute turgid mess of a game this time, which is great and terrible because it bombed, so I can't help but think the first game had something to do with that. People said that they tell me they like it, but I think that's just nonsense. I think that's just a fucking smokescreen. It's a Castlevania game, you have to like it, and that's shite, mate. Second one's better, apart from the setting. So there's many factions now. There's you, and then you've got Satan's army, then you've got Zobek and his whatever they are, fucking weird looking things for Quake 4. So are the Satan's Army. In fact, I think Satan's Army are more Quake 4 than anything else. And Zobek, some of his crew remind me of fucking Nightmare for Soul Calibur. It's a really bizarre game. I'm not too sure what year it's meant to be set in, because I was like, oh, maybe it's modern day. It kind of looks modern day, you get normal looking motors, but then you've got all this other weird sci-fi pish, and it kind of reminds me of Blade 2. Remember the end of Blade 2 when you get to the end of the film and it's all sci-fi and fucking high-tech nonsense? It's kind of like that, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? Then you've got a wolf that you can call at certain points in the game, and that'll open up like passageways for you to go between. It's trippy. It's a wee bit trippy. I like it though. I like that you can suck blood to replenish your health and all, and that can be very, very gory. That's great. I mean, it's the only real finishing move that you get, but there will be different animations. Sometimes you'll bite them and then slam them on the ground. Sometimes you'll rip their heart out and squeeze it and drink it. Sometimes you'll stab them with their own weapon and they'll just mince. Lots and lots of mincing. Usually 9 times out of 10 your combat finishers will end in a mincing. And that's smashing, isn't it? An absolute fucking mincing. Minced meat. Strange looking enemies as well. There's at least sort of, I don't know how to describe them. They look like fucking shite Captain America inside these sort of shite Iron Man, I should say. Or maybe a combination of the both. In these sort of mech suit things. And I was like, oh, what? Turn into a rat now, I'm having to fight these weird looking World War II relics. The boss fights are actually a hell of an improvement over the first game. I didn't like the Shadow of the Colossus rip-off that much. It's okay, frame rate is bollocks, but even in the Series X of the Xbox, didn't really do justice to that game. This one's a lot better. Still tell it's an older title, but it's a lot nicer to look at and it runs far better. You basically use different abilities. It's more Metroidvania. There's more backtracking, and it's just like the one big level. I think from what I've seen, haven't 100%ed the game, but I've done quite a bit of it. Seen some different looking places. The climbing puzzles are pretty good. Sometimes you'll be in chains. The chains actually they'll fall. So you'll need to jump between the chains, and then there'll be like flame jets and there'll be like electronic bits fucking zapping you. Can be frustrating, not gonna lie, but at least it's interesting. And it's adds a bit more to that sort of Uncharted fucking automatic jumping, can't barely fail type thing. I failed quite a few times. Died quite a few times. Get splattered by those fucking Satan jobby munchers with their big cannons. Pricks. And there's secrets to find. You'll need to get dungeon keys to open up things and get other wee things here and there. And there's plenty of lore to read. Plenty of lore to read. So actually I would recommend this game, but I don't know how you'll feel about that, not playing the first one. You don't actually need to play the first one. And I actually strongly recommend that you don't waste your time with it, unless you're this type of person that must play the games in order. I can be like that unless the game before it is absolute shite, in which case this one, yeah, it kind of falls into that category. Maybe not absolute shite, but fucking a dollop of jobby with a side of pish, do you know what I mean? But I recommend this one above the first. And I think it's a good gory fucking slightly frustrating time with shite stealth sections that nobody wanted. No one was going, oh, I think Castlevania needs some stealth sections. You're like, nah, that was never discussed between any fan. Never. I know plenty of folk that like Castlevania, and never once have they ever said, stealth section. I know Kojima Productions had a hand in this, but fuck's sake, leave Solid Snake out of this. He doesn't need to be in fucking everything. Yeah, you've kind of ruined the game a wee bit here with your stealth pish. Anyway, I'm just assuming it was them that did it. I don't know. They're responsible for making stealth games the last fucking 35 years. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it was their influence that got the stealth sections in this. And it was Rang, the bats, the rat bits, they're Rang and all. Fucking crap, actually. Anyway, I'll wrap this up. See you later.
Christus vivit, Christus regnat, Christus ab omni malo te defendat, maledictiat excommunicati daimones, in virtute istorum factorum Dei
I was
nomi.
like you once. But your God showed me another path.
Messias, Emmanuel, Soter, Sabaoth, Agios, Inkyros, Athanatos, Jehovah, Adonai.
That's why the power of your God cannot destroy me, because I am his chosen one.
Et ab omni locutor.
Ubi fuerent haec nomina et digna Dei, precipimus vobis, ad queligamus vos ut non habeatus. Ut potestatem per pestem nec per aliquod, quod eamque maleficium nocere incantationem neque in anima nec in corpore.